Hello, everyone. I just want to let you know that so many people have written me and said, you want Boeing to hire you, Daryl, to implement systems and disseminate knowledge, and you bash them all the time. Well, this video today is for those of you who don't think about a good leader, who may not have the knowledge of what a good leader is, because frankly, I've worked in corporate America, and I never, and private, there's only been one good leader that I've come in contact with, and he owned his own business. Me. But anyway, let me go into this now. This is for those people who question me, why do I bash Boeing? Of course, I'm a shareholder. I've got every right to it. I want a piece of that company. Whether I have 100,000 shares or whether I have 20 shares, I'm still just as viable as a guy who's got 100,000. But between you and I, those are the people that they listen to. In reality. And here it is. Truth and Turbulence, a 40-year QA expert warns the flying public about Boeing's ongoing failures. A message from Boeing shareholder and aviation quality expert Daryl Guberman. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow business owners, fellow friends, I stand before you today not as an outsider looking to tear down Boeing, but as a truth-sayer, a shareholder, and a 40-year veteran in quality assurance who wants nothing more than to see the company rise from the abyss it has created for itself. Not just them, created the FAA, federal agencies, and other corporations. A shame. People ask me, Daryl, why do you criticize Boeing so much if you claim to want to help them? My answer is quite simple. Any true leader, any demonstrative individual with integrity, with honesty, and the truth, no matter how uncomfortable the truth may be, would bring me in, sit me down, and ask me, what can you do for Boeing? The truth is that Boeing has lost its way. It abandoned on-site auditing for 22 years, something I have documented and proven. The documentation was available in Boeing's supplier portal from 2002 until January 2025, when it mysteriously disappeared. But disappearing evidence does not change reality. The damage is done, and the flying public is at risk. On April 17th, I stood up in support of the whistleblower Salephour, a Boeing engineer who exposed critical flaws in the design and assembly of the 777 and 787 aircraft. His testimony painting a disturbing picture of what's happening inside Boeing's production lines. And while I was out there at both Renton, Auburn, Everett, and Northfield, I got a pretty damn bad picture as well. In his April 17, 2024 testimony before the Senate Homeland Subcommittee on Government Affairs and Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, by the way, DHS sits on ANSI ANAB's board, okay? Not just as a member, but they're also a customer. They pay a fee to ANSI ANAB to make business with them. Isn't that nice? Boeing quality engineer Sam Salephour expressed concerns about the company's manufacturing practices. He described observing workers using excessive force to align misfitting parts during the assembly of the Boeing 787 aircraft, including instances where workers resorted to jumping on the plane's components to achieve alignment. Salephour warned that such a practice could compromise the structural integrity of the aircraft, which in engineering terms is called preloading, which could potentially lead to premature fatigue and failure. Let that sink in now. I'll say it again. He described how workers were jumping up and down on graphite composite fuselage sections, forcing them to fit together improperly. This is called preloading, a reckless practice where materials are bent into shapes they weren't designed for, and then locked into place with fasteners or adhesives. Over time, this creates accumulating stresses, leading to structural failures. In layman's terms, these aircraft could potentially start breaking apart in mid-flight. And let that sink in. Now, many people will hear this and dismiss it. They will say Boeing knows what they are doing, or if the FAA allows it, it must be safe. But let me remind you, Boeing was made an FAA self-certifier to its own aircraft by the FAA in 2009. That means they marked their own homework, and they have never been truly held accountable for abandoning on-site supplier audits for over 2 decades. To the flying public, I say this. Think twice before strapping onto a Boeing aircraft, and I'm telling you as a shareholder. This is not fear-mongering. This isn't saying the sky is falling. This is not speculation. This is fact. Boeing has shown time and time again that it prioritized pushing planes out of the hangar door over addressing the hundreds of quality issues that exist on aircraft before it even reaches the customer. As a shareholder, I have the right to demand better, don't I? I have offered my assistance to Boeing because I know exactly what needs to be done to fix the mess. There is no cookie cutter solution here. No simple A, B, C, D roadmap. Quality is not about checking a box, it's about commitment, accountability, and real oversight. If Boeing were serious about change, they would welcome someone like me, a man who has spent 4 decades ensuring quality and safety in aerospace, medical, and manufacturing industries, not sitting in an office making Pareto charts and graphs, rolling my sleeves up, going out there with the workers. And yes, quality did improve. Also, morale jumped up many notches. But Boeing does not want solutions, it appears. They want silence. I refuse to be silent. To Boeing leadership, I say this. You can either continue ignoring the truth until it leads to another catastrophic failure, or you can step up, admit the reality of your situation, and do what needs to be necessary to restore trust in your brand. To Congress and the FAA, shame on you both. Shame on you both. Being involved with the American National Standards Institute and the American National Crediting Board and all the regulatory bodies, stop protecting Boeing. Stop allowing them to write their own rules. Do your job. And to the passengers, the men and women who trust their lives to these aircraft every single day, be informed, demand accountability, and most of all, never let Boeing PR machine convince you that a rising delivery rate means rising safety. It does not. Numbers mean nothing when quality is being sacrificed, and it is. I was out there listening to people. I've got copious notebooks filled with information concerning the quality degradation that is going out the hangar door. The truth is out there, and I will not stop speaking the truth. And as David Foster Wallace has said, the truth will set you free, but not until it is finished with you. Boeing is getting AS 9100 after the aerospace cert after 20 plus years of demanding that from their suppliers and subcontractors, but not doing it themselves. And who are they getting accredited by? More than likely ANSI, ANAP, or one of the international equivalents that sit on the board that Boeing founded, the organization. The International Accreditation Forum, incorporated in Delaware, their sister organization, ILAC, International Laboratory Accreditation in Australia. The IF on there, those accreditation bodies are equivalent in accreditation to ANSI ANAP, and ANSI ANAP are underwriters. Okay, Boeing sits on the board of ANSI ANAP. Okay, management committee that can grant, suspend, and withdraw certification, which ANSI ANAP took down in August because of me, 2024. The supplier bulletin, it says an AS 9100 certificate must be ANSI ANAP accredited. That was from July 2002. And then on the supplier portal, it says third-party registers must be ANSI ANAP or international equivalent. So do you think a certificate that they're just getting now after 20 plus years is going to be meaningful or worthless? You decide and put in the comments down below. And I thank you. 203-556-1493.